Talk a little bit more about the story in just a couple of more minutes. But first, South Africa is at war with its women. That's the message that emerged at a Women in Business engagement with President Ramaphosa today. The theme of the dialogue was the economy is woman, and saw the president promising that government would in future discriminate in favour of women. We're joined now by our reporter Natasha Phiri to talk a little bit more about the president's message earlier on. So, Natasha, let's just first start with this message that the president had to say to women and saying that the economy is woman. What exactly did he mean by that?
Definitely, SABC. I mean, the president had actually emphasized and reiterated that it's time that women take a center stage in, the economy. It's time that there are more concerted efforts to actually merge women inside the economy. I mean, women, I think, constitute about over 50% of our population, but yet you see them sidelined, especially in the private sector. So it also implored, the private sector to open up space for women. He had said that the government actually is working in strides to actually include women. He had made the example that, his cabinet actually represents 50-50, both females and males. And it said that the same needs to actually be on the corporate level. He'd also alluded to the fact that, in the ANC as well, the same principle applies. We have provinces where a male is premier. His cabinet actually constitutes of, that 50-50 gender parity and is in favor of gender parity.
So, Natasha, just on that, I wonder obviously we're looking at the visuals here and we see women asking questions and commenting. The zebra approach of having equal representativity has been lauded, but it's about the lack of senior positions or representation for women at senior levels, decision-making positions. So what did he have to say about that?
Definitely, it's quite interesting that you mentioned, senior levels. He had said that there is a lack, and he wants to ensure that, more women actually are in those senior decision-making, positions. So he had said that government actually still has a long way to go in actually ensuring that we see women in powerful positions, especially in the corporate sector.
Okay, so let's talk about the statistics. Did he say at all how many women they are looking to elevate along the value chain within governance, public service, but are they looking at public-private partnerships with the private sector?
Well, he didn't quite give any specific, statistics or numbers. But going forward, remember, this is just an engagement. Coming out of this engagement will now be the issue of implementation. And I think also another issue that was also raised and that we also saw on social media is that, government is somewhat all talk and no action. This is now time to actually put pen to paper, Tipi. So, everything that was raised here actually needs to now, be implemented upon. Women also raise a number of challenges, and quite worrying challenges as well, that were actually raised here. And of course, the president had taken things to task, saying that it's time that, his government and his administration actually, prioritize the well-being and the emancipation of women.
And gender-based violence falling squarely within that.
Definitely. We heard Basitsana Khumalo raising that issue, saying, strong words here coming out from her, saying that, the country is at war with women. As you know, South Africa has one of the world's highest gender-based violence rates in the world, followed by issues of sexual harassment, discrimination, lack of transformation. So, all these issues, they had implored the president to actually take these issues to task. And hopefully, in the next few weeks or months, we'll actually see something. Exactly.
Final question, Natasha. The president was asked about state capture. What was his response to that?
Definitely. So he had said that, in terms of state capture, every institution that was somewhat, captured, now needs to be repaired.
All right. Thank you very much, SABC reporter Natasha Phiri, on that Women in Business Summit that the president held earlier.